let's get started with on. This product, of course, is going to get us active. It is going to give us the energy we need to perform the activities that we have to do. It is going to boost our enthusiasm, our energy, our mental energy, in order to increase our intellectual activity to its maximum potential. And you know that those people that are working from home, we know that we have a lot of distractors. We have already mentioned this with the different noises from people surrounding us. So we need to be focused at all times. So that's why on this drink on has been specifically designed to be focused. And something that is worth mentioning at this point regarding the composition of this drink has to do with the inclusion of taurine. We need to demystify taurine because taurine is key for the body functioning. And this is an element that has been demonized. And why? Well, it is because of some energy drinks that are not healthy. And they have misused this taurine with different components. And of course, this has caused some side effects on its consumers. And that's why some people have satanized or demonized taurine. So to get started, taurine is a natural element, and it is essential for the development of our body. For example, colostrum, the mother colostrum is rich in taurine because this taurine is key for the brain development of newborns. So this is just common sense. Nature is not going to give us something that is harmful. So if taurine is not harmful to babies, to newborns, it is not going to be harmful to adults. So we can find taurine in colostrum. We know that all of us who have been breastfed, we have already taken some taurine through this breast milk. Some people say that this colostrum, let's remember that colostrum is not milk itself, but it is a different drink that has taurine among some other components. And we also find taurine in some other foods, such as meat and fish, red meat and fish. And here it is important to highlight. Let me share a story with you, so you can see how far demonization can get with taurine. Once I was in a lecture for an airline staff. They were interested on getting these products, among them on, because you know that people, stewardess and pilots and all the staff working in an airline, they need to be focused and they need to be alert. And some of them said that they didn't want to actually drink this product because it had taurine. So can you imagine? And I don't want to offend anyone here, but can you see how ignorance is there? So does it mean that if you have a piece of meat, you are going to be positive for taurine? Or that if you have a piece of fish, you are going to become positive for taurine? So there is not any test to find out how much taurine you have in your bloodstream, because this is not a drug. This is actually, and it is actually in some vegetables in lower proportions, but it is there. And that's why vegetarians often have deficiencies in this in this availability of taurine because they need to compensate this taurine with some other supplements, food supplements. People suffering from diabetes also have a low level of taurine, which is lower than advisable. Exercise and stress, for example, also decrease, also increase the demand for taurine, because whenever we do exercise, our body is going to request, it is going to demand more taurine. And taurine levels decline with age. So we need to consume this taurine because it is an anti-agent component. So let's check. So as we say, look at all of the different products, look at all of the different foods where we find this taurine. And it is crazy to see how people think that they wouldn't or they are not allowed to have this taurine because, as I had said before, we can get taurine from the red meat, fish, eggs, milk, and actually some nuts and some grains. There is taurine in each one of these foods at a lower or higher extent, but it is not true that you are going to be tested for taurine. This is the scientific truth for taurine. So that's why I'd like to invite you to check the composition of this product on, where we have taurine, glycine, GABA, or this GABA component, the gamma amino butyl acid, gamma amino butyl acid. That's the name of it. That's why we say GABA, glutamine and choline. We have some energizing plant extracts such as mate and the acai berry, and antioxidant plant extras. You know why antioxidants are important? Because there are many free radicals given the stress that we may experience. So that's why it is important to have these antioxidant elements in order to have a better brain work or brain functioning. And we also have some minerals such as magnesium, zinc, and iron, which are very important for memory, just like magnesium. And we know that there are many different functions they comply or they are in charge of. And of course, what we care the most about with zinc has to do with the modulating of the defense or the immunitary system. So this is very important for the immunitary system. That's why it is highly recommended to have zinc in our diet. We also have essential fatty acids such as DHA and ARA, which are key in order to produce neurons, and also vitamins for the complex B, B1, B2, B3, B6, and B9. I like to stop here for a second, and actually you can see how rich these drinks are. And you can see how 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 5 vitamins. So here we have 19 active components that are actually focused on giving us more mental energy. We have already mentioned taurine, which is an amino acid that together with vitamin C and yerba mate dissipates the feeling of fatigue and enhances mental work. So taurine is a key component, and there are actually many different books that have been produced on this aspect, on how taurine is not a bad thing for our health. So of course we need to have taurine, but we need to be balanced in the way that we receive this taurine. And also iron is important here. The GABA, this acid is very important as well. If you actually check this acid, you can see that this is not an amino acid. Some people say that it's a provitamin, But we're not here to discuss these chemical aspects, but we are going to discuss, but I am going to discuss this GABA acid as an amino acid that is going to help us to have the neurotransmitter communication. So that means the communication among neurons. And it also helps us to have a better synergetic combination. And also we have the B complex vitamins that together with the with the fatty acids and the mineral and fruit extracts improve antioxidant defense and stimulate functions such as attention and memory. So this means that this combination of natural ingredients means that we have a rich synergic of, as I have said, around 19 natural ingredients to be more focused and to actually dissipate the fatigue feeling. So all of these different ingredients are going to provide me with the stimulation and attention despite the daily distraction. And I can tell you this because of I have had first-hand experience with this. Because of with all of the different distractions that we have at home, with this product, I can become focused beyond the day-to-day distractions. Besides that, I can have better neuronal nutrition. This is an antioxidant, and I may have a longer span of attention. So my attention can be there for a longer period of time. And we are going to be in a better alert state. And it is going to optimize the intellectual work, which is actually an achievement today, because actually we have to finish our days. It is very difficult to finish our day being fully concentrated. And it is difficult nowadays, it is difficult for every single one of us. And it is a challenge. We know that this is a challenge. But now, thanks to this drink, we know that we can achieve it thanks to the natural ingredients that we have in drinks such as the one that we have just seen. So this was on.